Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a little while now, which is my top 10 figures of the year so far. I think we're probably a little over halfway through the year now, which is crazy to say. It always is crazy to say. It always feels like the year just started, but we are well through the year now, and for some reason it feels like we haven't got a ton of stuff released yet, but yeah, there actually has been a lot of really great stuff coming out, of course, as always. And in front of you here, it's not my top 10 or anything. These are just a collection of a bunch of figures that I got this year, that came out this year, that I wanted to give kind of the honorable mention and talk about a bit before we go into the actual top 10. For my top 10s, it's pretty simple. The parameters, it's got to be released in 2022 or very late in 2021, where I probably wouldn't have been able to get it until 2022. And obviously, I have to own it. And I exclude high-end 6-scale figures, so no Hot Toys, Sideshow, 3.0, 6-scale or anything like that, because I think they're just on another level. They're going to be the best figures I get this year. That's just the way those figures are, so I don't think it's fair to put them in these kind of lists. But yeah, so right in front of you here, just a bunch of stuff from various companies that have come out this year that have been really good. The one Marvel Legends there, right at the far right, Jigsaw. I don't collect too much Marvel Legends anymore. I'm very picky when it comes to Marvel Legends. I only get ones I really want. And Jigsaw is one I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to get, because Walgreens exclusives are pretty finicky up here in Canada. They usually go to GameStop, but then they're usually a pain in the ass to get. But I found him in store, and he is really nice. I love the head sculpt, and he comes with a bunch of accessories. He looks really good, articulates decently well, but he is, on the suited body, and those don't move particularly the greatest. I didn't feel like he was quite cool enough to make the list. Classified's been really nice. I've got the Alley Viper here. Alley Viper I actually thought I was going to like a little more than I do. I do still like it a lot. It's a great figure, but I feel like the articulation is just slightly more limited than I'd like it to be. I don't know. I just didn't quite make the cut for me. I haven't gotten the Storm Shadow wave yet, so we'll see where those will rank up at the end of the year. But yeah, there still has been some decent classified so far. McFarlane Toys, I've got a few of them back there. A lot of good stuff. I got General Zod from DC Multiverse. Again, I've been kind of slowing down on DC Multiverse and only getting ones I really want. And General Zod, it's just cool to get a new General Zod figure, and I think they did a really good job on that one. That one very nearly made my list. It's really nice for what it is, for sure. Probably one of my favorite DC Multiverse figures. That one's really good. And the Spawn stuff has continued to be really great. Right in the middle there is that the Throne set, the Spawn Throne set, which is really good for the price, like $40 Canadian. And you get a big, well sculpted and decently painted throne with a fully articulated Spawn figure that can sit in it. Is really cool. But I didn't make the list because it is pretty much meant just to be displayed sitting on the throne. It is a cool display piece and not much else. He is well articulated, but it doesn't come with a full cape. It doesn't come with any accessories. There's not really much else you can do with the figure except for sit him on the throne, unless you have like a custom cape or something. But he looks really good as a display piece. Really impressive as a display piece. There's a few other things. Ninja Spawn's kind of cool, but not as well articulated as I would have liked them to be. A Soul Crusher, surprisingly a really well done figure. I just don't have a super huge attachment to the character, so he didn't make the list because of that. Star Wars has been kind of back and forth. There's things, they've been putting out good stuff, but there's been some stuff that they've been doing that's not so good. The Black Series in particular, a lot of great figures. I recently got Tython Boba Fett. It took me a while to get him. He's cool. Fennec Shan's really good, but I think she should have came with more accessories. Really like Cobb Vanth, but I just couldn't put him on the list. He's sold as a deluxe figure, and it just isn't a deluxe figure. I really hate that they do that with the Boba Fett-esque characters. I think it's really dumb, because I'm pretty sure they know those figures aren't deluxe, but they know they'll get the money for it. And obviously I spent money on it, but whatever. And then even the Gaming Greats recent ARC Trooper Umbra Operative figure, even though it's completely just a repaint and it even has less accessories and doesn't even have the removable helmet, it's still a really awesome figure. I actually really like that one a lot. Probably one of my favorite Gaming Greats figures. It's really good. Again, it's kind of overpriced. And then 3 1/4 inch 3 1/4 inch collectors for Star Wars have been eating real good this year. We've gotten some great stuff so far, and we're just getting more good stuff. Gaming Greats, ARC Troopers, Death Watch Mando, which would have been on my list, but there's another figure that ended up bumping it off, you'll see in a moment. The ARC Troopers here from the 2D Clone Wars, I would have put on the list, but even though they're technically new releases for this year, they're just pretty straightforward repaints of like an over 10-year-old mold, so I didn't feel like it deserves to really go on the list. But I absolutely love these figures. Super happy that they released these, especially the blue one. That's so awesome. I have 3 of him, and I would pick up even more if I end up running across any others. Probably won't, but you know. New Ahsoka is really good. I just got Reva recently, which is also a pretty good figure. I wasn't even expecting to have her this early, so that's really cool. And then the back, can't really see him, but I do have the Legacy of Bulkhead there, which is a figure that surprised me. I like him a lot more than I thought I was going to like him. And Legacy has been decent so far. I have some pretty good stuff. I haven't bought a ton of it yet. I'm being a little more pick and choosy with that one. But yeah, I've rambled on long enough, so let's get on to the actual top 10. All right, now on to the actual list. This is actually a pretty difficult list to make. It was tough to decide which figures I wanted to have on the list and then where I wanted to order them on the list. It'll be interesting to see how this changes towards the end of the year, which figures will stay and which figures will go. But first off, at number 10, we have a recent pickup for me. It is the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Commando Spawn. This is a figure that I wanted them to do for a long time, pretty much since they did the standard Mortal Kombat Spawn back a couple of years ago, and especially since they did the 12-inch figure of this guy, which was basically just a statue. Wanted an articulated figure of him, and they came through and did it in the Mortal Kombat 11 line, which is awesome. It looks really cool, like 90% brand new sculpt. The only things that are reused is like the right boot, the right gauntlet, and the cape, and everything else is brand new, I do believe. Really well articulated, pretty much almost as articulated as that original Spawn they did for the Mortal Kombat line. My only real complaint with the figure is that the accessories, he doesn't come with any guns. He comes with those 2 Necro energy effects that came with the Malefic Spawn figure, which are cool accessories. I like those accessories, but Commando Spawn's got to come with guns, and I know it probably has to do with Warner Brothers, because they, I think, own, or I think NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat's under Warner Brothers, that they probably couldn't give him guns because of that, which kind of sucks. I do have extra guns to give him, but it would have been nice if he would have came with some guns, which is why he's high on the list. But yeah, he's really cool, looks great, articulates well. Yeah, really like him a lot. So he is number 10. We will put him over here on the side, and hopefully he will not fall over. He's number 10. At number 9, we actually have a Marvel Legend, which is pretty cool because on my list last year, at the end of the year, I did not have any Marvel Legends on it, I don't think. But we have one here, and it'll be interesting to see if he makes it all the way through the year. But we have the Marvel Legends in the States, Walgreens exclusive. In Canada, he is exclusive to GameStop. It is Baron Zemo, and I've been wanting a Marvel Legends Baron Zemo for a long time. I never got that original, or the Hasbro one back with the Winter Soldier wave, and I prefer the classic look for Baron Zemo anyways, and one of my favorite Marvel villains, and I think this figure is super good. It reuses the body for Red Skull and Dormammu from that supervillains wave, but I think it does it in such a way where it still feels like a different figure. Accessories decent. I would like to come with some more accessories, but what really sells it is the head sculpt. I think is absolutely incredible. They were able to convey a pretty good amount of emotion and realism, even though he's wearing a mask, which I think is super cool. So really like this figure a lot. He is number 9. Definitely probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends I own, honestly. Really like him. And next up in the realm of Transformers, this is technically the Kingdom release. It got released twice, basically back to back in Kingdom and then again in Legacy. It is the Voyager class blaster, which I think is just super cool. I don't own, or before this figure, I never owned any versions of Blaster, and quite frankly, none of the versions, more modern figures of Blaster previous to this guy really interested me all that much, but I did still want to get a figure of Blaster, and I think this is just such a great figure. Sculpt and paint and proportions, everything like that looks absolutely incredible. Really good, like no kibble at all. Articulation's really good. Paint's good. The transformation is simple, fun to do, and he has a really good looking boombox mode. and even accessories pretty good. He's got the rifle, which is unique to Blaster, and he also comes with the little guy, Eject, I think. A little odd that he's in clear plastic. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but he's a fully articulated little figure, and transforms can go into the chest, so that is super cool. Yeah, really great figure. Super happy to finally have a Blaster to put in with the Autobots, recently released Autobots, and he looks great with them. And he is number 8. And he goes right here. And number 7, we are going back to McFarlane Toys, and this is a figure that I believe does deluxe figures the correct way. It is the deluxe She-Spawn figure. Really nice figure. Like the character quite a bit. And yeah, well sculpted, well painted, well articulated for the most part. I really like the crazy sculpt of the hair and all the paint that went into that, and comes with a bunch of accessories with like multiple melee weapons, interchangeable hands, display base, multiple guns, all accessories painted, and a real metal chain to go along with it as well. Compared to some of the deluxes that we've been getting from Hasbro, this is at the same price point and gives you so much more. I think it's just a super awesome figure. Probably one of my favorite from the new Spawn figures that McFarlane has been putting out so far. So I really like She-Spawn. My only real complaint with her is she's kind of a pain in the ass to stand. Her feet are really small. She's got really weirdly sculpted heels. So she don't like to stand too much. But aside from that, really great figure. Next up, we're going to the land of G.I. Joe Classified, and it is the Cobra Bat, which I think is an incredible figure. I would say probably one of the best figures that they've done in the Classified line so far. The Bat itself is just a really cool character design, troop builder, and I think they did such a good job on this. All the colors, the bright yellows, the black, the gray, and all that looks super good. Articulation's great, and all the accessories awesome. They have the backpack that can store all the interchangeable hand accessories, handgun, which can be stored in the holster, multiple different swapping hands and swapping battle damage parts. You can have a normal head with a clean chest, or you can have this battle damage chest and battle damage head, which is super awesome. Those are accessories they didn't have to include. I wouldn't have even really complained if they didn't include it, but I'm so happy that they did, because I think those just look absolutely incredible. And I also like the added bonus that with the little laser gun hand attachment, or whatever this is supposed to be, you can actually insert 1/144 scale Gunpla beam saber effects to give them a little beam firing effect, which I think is super cool as well. So yeah, super solid figure. If you don't yet have one of these and you collect the Classified series, you probably already have one, but you definitely got to get one if you don't. Next up, we go to Hasbro Black Series, and we have Bad Batch Echo, which I really like a lot. This might be one of the newest Black Series that I have. I don't have any other of his wave mates, unfortunately, yet. If I had the Death Watch Mando, that would have definitely been under consideration for the list. But yeah, super happy to have Echo. He completes the team of Bad Batch members, or pretty much. He's the he completes the troopers anyways. I don't have Omega yet, but if you don't count Omega, he's the one that finishes them all. And yeah, he's absolutely incredible figure. I do think he's well painted, well sculpted. Mostly, I think 95% new mold. Decent amount of accessories. You got the pistol. You have that weird arm attachment, backpack, and then the removable helmet, which is pretty cool. And then the Echo sculpt underneath is also pretty great. I also just really like Echo's design. I like how it kind of incorporates some ARC Trooper elements and also normal clone elements, and then some of the cyborg elements I think are all really cool. Yeah, just super happy to have the team of Bad Batch guys all together. So really happy to have him. And he is number 5. He's number 5. And put him right there. There you go, Echo. And at number 4, we go back to Transformers. It is the leader class, Transformers Legacy, Laser Prime or G2 Prime, Optimus Prime, which was probably my most anticipated of the Transformers figures to come out recently for Legacy. The first wave is definitely my most wanted, most anticipated. And for the most part, it lives up to the expectations. It's really good, great articulation, good transformation, good alternate mode. The trailer has a lot more playability and is a lot more interesting than the Earthrise Optimus Prime from a few years back. Lots of nice little features. You got the sword and the energon axe. You can do different things with those. I got them in the big sword configuration right now. You can flip open the panels here, and you have the missile pods in the shoulders, which I think is super cool. You can open up his chest. He's a removable matrix, which is also great. And even though it's a heavy remold of the Earthrise mold, it's done in such a way where it still feels like a new figure, which is great. My only real problems with this figure is there's a couple of QC things, or maybe it's just because of the engineering. He has ball jointed wrists, which were really loose, and I had to put some crazy glue on them to give them some extra friction, so now they can actually hold the weapons a bit better. I'm also not a fan how they engineered the bicep rotation, because it makes the arms pop off a decent amount. Don't like that, but overall, super awesome figure. Definitely a super fun leader class. Probably one of the better leader class releases in a while, in my opinion anyways. And next up, we got a very recent release. It is the Vintage Collection Mandalorian Super Commando from the Clone Wars. This is a figure that I've wanted for years and years. I know a lot of people have probably wanted for years and years at this point, to finally have good articulated figures of the Mandalorians from the Clone Wars from the later seasons. I think is absolutely awesome, and I really love the design of Darth Maul's Super Commandos. All the gunmetal, the red and the blacks, I think look awesome, and they did such a good job with this figure. This is where the Death Watch Mando would have been if I didn't get this guy in hand yet, but I did, and I do overall like this design a bit more, have a bit more attachment to it, and yeah, I just think it's a super good figure, well painted, well sculpted. Hasbro has really kind of started to nail the Mandalorians. They've really kind of figured out the trick to that. If it wants to focus. No, it doesn't. Looks great. I like that he comes with the Clone Wars style rifle, which is nice. It's actually nicely, accurately sized and everything, which is great. Well articulated. Got the pistols, the jetpack, everything. It's just a super great figure. Ended up getting 2 of these guys, and honestly, if I find more of them in store, I might have to pick up more of them. And I'm looking forward to the Captain, Super Commando Captain, that's coming out soon. So, absolutely incredible figure. And at number 2, we have a figure that I was hesitant to even put this high on the list because I've got issues, but at the end of the day, I really like this design, and I really had enjoyed this figure a lot. It is the deluxe book of Boba Fett from the Black Series, and yeah, this figure, not a deluxe release. It has nothing that makes it deluxe whatsoever, so it's overpriced. It's not even Boba Fett from the book of Boba Fett. It's actually Boba Fett from The Mandalorian. So it's not even accurate to what the packaging tells you it's from. But even with all that stuff, I just enjoyed this figure so much. Well articulated, looks great. It comes with these accessories it needs to come with. Doesn't come with any extra ones, which again, deluxe should have. It's missing paint apps, which it shouldn't be if it's deluxe. This and that, you complain about all that stuff, but overall, I really like this design for Boba Fett, and I really like this figure a lot. I imagine this will probably get beat out by the Vintage Collection Book of Boba Fett deluxe figure that I actually do technically have purchased. It's just sitting in my Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot. So once I get that, I could see this figure getting bumped completely off the list, but for now, this one's here, and it's at number 2. And lastly, at number 1, at least for now, we have the Vintage Collection of Katan from The Mandalorian, but could easily work for Clone Wars as well. And it makes me really happy that a Vintage Collection figure has actually made my number 1 spot for a top 10 of the year, at least so far. This Bo-Katan is very good. I think, again, a lot of people have wanted a 3 3/4-inch Bo-Katan ever since she was initially shown in the Clone Wars, so for years and years. And they just did such a good job on this figure. Articulation is all modern and really well done. Accessories are good, jetpack, pistol, interchangeable helmet and head sculpt. The paint apps are really good. The head sculpt and face print I think is actually better than the Black Series figure. I think it looks a lot better than the Black Series figure. She doesn't come with a Darksaber, but she looks cool with it. Yeah, just a super solid figure. I think definitely one of Hasbro's best they've made. And yeah, really good. I don't see it getting booted off the list. I do see it maybe not being number 1, but yeah, like I said, 3 3/4-inch Star Wars has had a really strong showing so far this year, and they're just going to keep continuing. There's still some really great stuff coming out this year. And anyways, that is the list. I did ramble on quite a bit. I do apologize. I do like just talking about this stuff. That's the list so far. We'll see which ones stay and which ones leave. at the end of the year when everything's all said and done. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what your favorite figures of the year are so far. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.